Hi there, in this most random video ever I'm going to fix some stuff around the house. So let's get to it. This one, stuff dropping, loud noises, whatever. Obviously a tray. It was fixed in one end, I don't know, 10 years ago, still holding strong. Wife dropped it. The other end come unglued and in pieces. So yeah, need to fix it to earn some points with the wife. Married men will understand. This one, old hair dryer that my wife cannot talk today. Maybe this is at fault. Yeah, electrical stuff with beer, best mix. Yeah, my wife used to use this thing. It started making a hell of a noise. I think I opened it once or twice before. It gathers hairs right between the fan and the motor, on the motor shaft, and that makes a hell of a noise. And this, even when it's good, makes a hell of a noise because it's quite tiny, quite powerful. So I'm using it for electronics when I need to heat stuff up, so I need to also fix it because it's annoying. This thing, sorry about that, dropped it. Just want to see what's rattling inside so I don't electrocute myself while using it. This thing, Chinese crap. I think something broke because we have screws in there, but again I don't want to electrocute myself when I take it out of the socket. And this thing, well, worst moment ever is when your neighbors find out that you can fix stuff. And old neighbors, even worse. Yeah, let's not even go there. I'm going to see what it does. She says that when she plugs it in, makes sparks. Well, yeah. Let's see what causes that sparks. So, I don't know. I think these two will be the last that I need to do. And I'm probably going to start with this because hopefully I'm just taking a look and everything is fine, but it's making a noise. I don't even remember if it was making it before I dropped it, but there is a big chance it did. So, safety screws, because why not? Like, you cannot electrocute with this thing yourself with this thing without being able to undo those screws. Yeah, whatever. So let's do this in high speed. Well, no, nothing happened. This thing is still a death trap as it always was. Or, oopsie, something actually did happen. That's no bueno. Well, I need to think about it, what I will do next. I think I'm going to glue it back in place just as a spacer and use other screws that are longer than this so they go down a tiny bit. So yeah, we'll see. Found something. This one's longer but the same thickness, and they are kind of made for plastic because they can clear out what they cut when they build their own thread, which is kind of good. And I was limited by the size of this head because it would not fit in here, so these were the only ones that actually worked. So yeah, let's close up our death trap and hope for the best. Ho ho ho! Death trap level was increased. These things are broken, at least on one side, and this is almost broken. Me no like that. So let's make that part a bit sturdier. Using one Chinese death trap to fix another Chinese death trap. What could go wrong? What I didn't really take into consideration from the start is if this thing conducts electricity when it's melted. So before it could dry, put it back together and give it a power on without actually pushing this, because they can touch with this thing between them, and yeah, not even when it's wet it doesn't conduct. So yeah, not the brightest idea ever, but seems to do the trick. So let's put this thing back together in high speed. As you could see, beer doesn't mix with working on electric stuff. I put the screws in this thing while it was plugged in. Not a good idea, is it? Yes, they are all covered up and they shouldn't touch anything, but never risk something like this. So for the moment this is working, but as soon as I see a good one at a decent price, I'm going to get it, and this goes into the recycling bin. So let's continue with this, or this, we'll see in a moment. Jesus, another death trap. The plastic is so brittle in this cheap Chinese scrap. I don't even know why I'm keeping them, but they do serve a purpose. With this one, it's that weak that I can actually connect it to laptop 18650 cells, and it cannot blow them up. So it's extremely weak, barely starting to heat up after, I don't know, 10 minutes of being connected to one of those cells. Yeah, whatever. So I'm just using it to jumpstart that type of cells once again. Yeah, I'm going to put a ton of glue on this, put it back, and then glue everything shut, because I'm not going to touch this once more. If it breaks, recycling bin it is. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This thing is so stuck in there that I can barely get it out, and it's just hair, nothing else. Ain't it cute? And this is forcing this thing to go down at maximum and make a hell of a noise. Oh, didn't intend to get this out, as it doesn't help me with anything if I get it out. Or let me clean this area next to the diode, if it actually came out. Anywhere else it needs cleaning? No, I don't think so. I could actually see, yeah. But as hair goes, that was the only place that actually gathered it, because this will actually burn it, and what doesn't get burned will be thrown out. Yeah, I'm happy with the situation. It's not a great situation, but for my needs this is good enough. And obviously we bought my wife a new one, and a safer one, and a bit bigger, because this was more like a travel model. Really nice, really compact, but geez, loud as hell. Anyway, still works. Probably this, I don't know, the brand, I think it's something like Severin, I think it's from Germany. Back in the day they made good stuff. They really made good stuff. Those were the days when you bought something and you had a chance that it will last something like 10 years or something along those lines. Today you buy something, if you're lucky you will not go with it to the warranty, but nothing more than that. Let's put it back together. It's cleaned, should be working, and yeah. Yeah. Let's get to this one. Don't like it at all, but and it even has safety screws, so back with this real weird thing that broke, and I needed to file it down once again to be usable. High speed, I have no idea what I will find in here. Well, I think we have found the problem. Down in there, not sure if you can see, right in the middle, the rectifier bridge blew itself apart. This could be because of a short somewhere, or just because of overheating, because as you can see it's in a really bad position. Yay, lucky me. It's actually fixable, which I didn't actually want. I was hoping it's, I don't know, something blown. Open it up, see it unfixable, throw it into the recycling bin. Not lucky. And if I see something that I can fix, I need to fix it. Let's continue. Poked around, couldn't find any rectifier bridge that looked strong enough to handle that load there and the heat that it's inside this thing. So I'm going to use a single diode, much like in this thing, but I need to open it up once again to see exactly how it's connected. I could guess, because I only rectify half of the wave at this point, so the speed of the motor will be a bit lower, but I don't think that's a problem, because this seems to have more than one setting for speed and heat, so you can manage to get what you want. But I really want to see how they connected it in here. Sorry, my bad. I thought this was for the motor in this one. Seems this has something to do with the temperature protection on this thing. And we simply have some small rectifiers right in here. So that's gonna be quite simple to do. Yeah, I will search for something like this. Jeez, I just can't make up my mind. No, this only rectifies half of the wave, because one of the connections, I think the positive, is directly at 220 volts. and the other one is in series with the heating element. But because this has two speeds, first is in series with one of the elements, second is in series with the whole element. So that is why we have two of them. One of them connects here and the other down there. So yeah, once again we are only rectifying half of this thing. And I seem to have lost the connection in here. Seems to be quite iffy. I think I will squish this just a tiny bit. Yep, so this is properly blown. You can see bits of it all over the place. So the positive needs to go in here from our single diode, huge one I might add, but yeah, or what the hell, this is too big. I might need this for something else. Let me search for another one. Well, snap, I have three of them right in there. So I'm going to take the one in the middle that's actually attached to something. Just need to find out where it's soldered, and that's not going to be easy, is it? I think I found out. Anyway, high speed on soldering. Well, my bad. I've soldered the diode the wrong way around. I don't know why. First time I wanted to solder it the correct way around and then decided that was wrong, and it actually wasn't. So let's do this again. And now the diode is soldered the right way. And this is a bit short. How long did they need to be? Oh, damn it, that's not long enough. That needs replacing. Damn it, barely managed to find single strand wires. Yes, normally I could put multiple strand, but if they decide to put single strand in this area from the start, who am I to change it? Where are the snips? Here are the snips. Snippity, snip, snip. This should be long enough, and I am obviously going to, let me throw this away. Got it. I am going to cover it with this kind of stuff, so it will be temperature resistant, obviously. If it could actually fit in there. That's going to cause an issue, isn't it? Oh, I think the end of this is actually damaged. What? What is the chance of that happening? Yeah, the hand was damaged. The hole was actually closed in this temperature resistant protection. That's actually quite weird. I don't think I have seen that happen anytime. Let's quickly close one. Actually, sorry about that, open one end. Yeah, I will open one end, put the protection, solder it here, clean the other end, and be ready to solder in there. Doesn't matter which of these two goes where, because the diode itself decides the polarity. So at this point I'm going to give it one quick test, the final one, and I'm going to also show you this, and it should be spinning the right way this time. I had some sort of a brain fail. So this needs to be negative and this needs to be positive. the diode doesn't decide that, because the way the motor is built actually decides where it has a positive and a negative. And if you give it the other way around, it will spin the other way around. Wait, so actually the diode does decide how it spins. And why didn't it work before? Did I put by mistake the negative on it? Ay, 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 ay. Let's turn it around once more and hope for the best. It was that damn beer. So I put it the right way the first time. Something I did wrong. I attached the wires for this wrong. The polarity on it was maybe wrong because it has a polarity switch. Something I didn't do right, but this is the proper direction for this to spin. So this end needs to go there. Yeah. But that beer is so good. Yeah, don't work and drink. Not a good match. Finally, we have the diode right in there somewhere, soldered in place, and on this other side the other wire. So in theory this thing should be working. Let's put it together, because I'm so done with it. It's unbelievable how done I'm with it. This thing is so much trouble. So it seems this switch right here controls off, on, high speed, low speed, whatever. And this controls how many watts this thing actually gets from here. I'm not sure how things are connected inside. And this only, while you press on it, it cuts the heating and only lets the fan spin. Ay, 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 ay. It's extremely complex and I don't know if it has any point. And obviously there was a broken plastic from this switch in there. So I need to help it with this. And the wire was crimped way too badly down there, so I moved it just a little bit and rotated this crimping mechanism because it was the wrong way around. Somebody opened up this thing someday, don't know exactly when, but this was opened up by somebody. So yeah, not happy about all of this work, too much for such an appliance, but yeah, maybe my neighbor will get a bit more use out of it, but for sure she will have no idea how much I needed to work on such a simple thing. And this, I think it was some kind of current limiting for the motor itself, but when I tried to unsolder it from here, it seems it actually broke off from the end and it's quite a bit colored down there, so it might be even shorted. I don't know. I'm going to try and roll without it. If something doesn't work, maybe I'll open up it again and add that and find a way to keep it in place, although it's broken. Jesus. Hair dryer, 10 bucks, 15 bucks, get another one. it's not like it's something that it's hard to find, or yeah. Anyway, high speed. I will put some of this stuff in here to keep the switch in place, close it up, plug it in, hope it doesn't blow. If it does, throw it in the recycling bin. I just hate it when I work on something that somebody else worked on. I just couldn't understand how in the world would this tiny little thing actuate these switches that are really hard to move. Well, it cannot, because there is a piece missing. Somebody actually cut these things, this and this. So yeah. What I set on this thing is exactly what will go. If I set it at the wrong temperature or something like that, it will be stuck at the wrong temperature forever until I open it up again. Let me see how many steps this thing has. Three steps. I will put it on medium. That means 1000 watts. If I'm on medium here, means I'm on 1000 watts here, because I'm on the upper position. I could lower it even up to 300 watts, but 1000 watts, that's a kilowatt. That will be starting the second you plug it in, so you're basically plugging in a 1 kilowatt bulb. Luckily it's not a capacitive thing, it's a resistive thing, so it will not draw extreme amount of current, and if you hold this switch, maybe this will act as an on-off, at least for the resistance. Yeah man, this, oh, I really do hate it working after somebody else, because you are just guessing what other people have done to keep this thing alive. If you guess wrong, you can break it or hurt yourself. Or nope, not good. Well, at least it seems to be powering on. That's a bit of a rattle. I think the fan is actually hitting. Yeah, the fan, I think it's hitting the side. Jesus, it just doesn't end with this thing. Why did I take it? Why did I take it? Yeah, it is what it is. I've set it to the minimum because this thing heats up like crazy. And I don't want it melting something in there. If my neighbor says anything about this, I'm going to take it a step higher. But yeah. Come on. It's also almost impossible to plug these things in. Whoever designed this did not do a good job. Whatever. or actually I'm not even going to put it here, because if she pushes too low she will set it into the off position, and then I'm going to have something to work on once again. Ah, damn it. How much beer I need to drink now to get this stupid thing out of my head. It's not even funny anymore. Okay, here it cannot do anything because it's already in the lowest position. This one has the pin broken completely, so it goes in any other way and doesn't do anything. This, I think it gets a bit colder, but not too much, so whatever, it works, but makes a hell of a rattle. I'm going to get it back. How long she's going to use it, it's up to her. So yeah, let's continue with the tray, and that will be the last thing. This is going to be thrown away. Yeah, so the other side is also beginning to steal. I was thinking of stainless steel because I just saw a marking that I didn't know was there. To fail. So yeah, this has taken a damage also when it was dropped and that one broke. So I'm going to do a final attempt to use epoxy on it to glue this thing back and also fix that one. If it holds okay, if not, both of them are coming off. This whole thing will be polished and will have a life as a tray without any handles, which is not that bad. Or I could drill some holes and find some other fancy handles. Anyway, let's try again and fix these ones, just because why not? If it doesn't work, I need what I know what I need to do. Jeez. And the day is over. Lot of work for a single day. The thing that looks worse is where I fixed it before, a lot of years ago. Doesn't even matter how many. Where I fixed it today, pretty decent. Also on this side, pretty decent. But yeah, on the back, not great. I made sure it doesn't have anywhere to scratch, so I got rid of all the edges, same on both sides, but on the back it looks a bit bad. But on the front, what can I say? It's usable. And my wife likes to use it. I don't know why, probably it's the perfect size, quite thick. I don't know. Obviously not when we have guests, just for us around the house. So, some points with the wife are always good. And that's about it for this really long day. Even off video I had a bunch of things that I needed to do. But, yeah. All done. So, thank you very much for watching this absolutely random video of me fixing absolutely random stuff. Yeah, as always, see you in the next one. Bye.